A while back, I did a video review showcasing this Condor Primitive Bush Knife. And a couple of critiques I had was I wasn't really a fan of the grind, and also they didn't take the edge all the way to the back part of the grind, which left an area of the blade, in my humble opinion, that was rendered useless. Well, as promised, I said I was going to do some mods to this blade. Today I'm going to do that. I'm using the Ken Onion Work Sharp that I have featured in the back, and I also have the Work Sharp knife grinding attachment as well. So we'll get to grinding on this. I'll come back and I'll give you some final thoughts on the knife and also on that system. You're not going to want to miss this video, folks. Let's start off by describing some of the tools that we're going to be using in this project. This is the Ken Onion Work Sharp. What I'm going to do is remove this attachment. I'm going to slide this out of the way, and I'm going to attach this Ken Onion blade grinding attachment. Now, what's great about this is you basically have a knife making factory all encompassed in this piece of kit. Comes with really nice instructions, and that's with all the Work Sharp stuff. Just great way to explain it. It takes you step by step. You can adjust the angle of your grind just by twisting this nut and sliding this arrow to whatever angle grind you want. You have a 90-degree spot here, so if you want to put those ferrule rod sharp spines on the back of your knife, you can use the 90-degree attachment. This is an index here to get your knife basically flat and plumb, and then you're going to bring it up to the angle of the grind that you set here. Now, as with this, it comes with a couple different belts, and we're going to go through each one. This one is the P120. That's your rough course. That's for basically starting your grind if you have something that's just really out there, that's just super dull. And I'll insert a photo of an axe or a hatchet that I had to clean up for a friend. He was going camping and he had found one, and I mean, this thing was just a disaster, and we brought it back to a mirror edge polish. So I started out with the P120. I have the X65. That's also a coarse belt. Then we progressively get to the finer stuff. This is their medium. This is the X22. And now we're getting into more of the fine polishing stuff, and you can see that I've really worked this belt. And this is the X4, and then they have their 1200 grit. So I'm hoping to take this Condor Primitive Bush tool through each stage and to be able to get a mirror finish that's going to be able to be razor hair popping sharp for you. Let's get this project started by removing the blade sharpening attachment. First off, real easy. You have a little switch here that you press, you just twist, and everything's keyed, comes straight off. We're going to set this out of the way. We do not need this today. Now, there's a hub bolt that attaches to the drive shaft. What I like to do is attach this first because it's real easy to tighten it up. It's a reverse thread. That way it doesn't come off while you're doing your grinding job. Real easy here. We have indexes here. We have basically a key cutout slot here. Real simple. This slides up, and now you're good to go. So I'm going to use my first blade. What I do is I feed it around the hub. This gets held in real easy by you compress this spring and then twist, and it holds it in. This is going to be your tensioner on the belt. So what I do is I just twist, and now my belt is on and it's tensioned. If you want a little more or a little less tension, there's a little switch on the side here where you can slide this tensioner back and forth. Now, as you can see, this belt isn't centered on the rollers, and that's real simple. You can micro adjust that here on this tensioner by just twisting it And you can bring the belt right back in line. So now I'm good to go. I'm going to start off with the P120 first. I'm going to set this up against the edge of my counter. And then I set my speed, what speed I want to use. I lock it in. I set my blade flat to get it 90. And then I just pick it up and then I just start grinding. Now we're going to flip it over and do it again on this side. I think I've turned the speed up just a little bit more. And then we just keep repeating this process back and forth. I don't like to take the tip and go all the way across because you'll start rounding the tip off if you do that. But as you can see, it's making quick work of that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little work grinding this away, and then I'll come back and show you what I've done. So a quick close-up. This is with the rough belt, and I kind of cleaned a lot of the rough grind factory marks out of there with that. Now I'm going to switch over to the X65 belt. You see how easy these belts just pop on and off. And same thing here, just center the belt. And now I'll get to sharpening with this, and then I'll show you the next step. So with the X65 grit, it's just taking it down a little bit more, getting a little more polished. Profile's coming on there, nice convex that I like. Now we're going to go to the X22 and we'll get that going. I now have the X22 on. So we're just progressively stepping it down to hopefully get that polished, mirrored, razor sharp cutting edge. We're going to proceed till we get there. Now let's take it to the fine belts. This is the X4. And we're just progressively trying to get that polished edge that's just going to be razor sharp. And you see how easy it is to swap out these belts and how quick. Center it. There you go. Now you're ready to drive on. We're progressively getting there. Let me see if I can get it in there for you. So we're polishing this blade now. And just finishing up. Now we're going to put on the 12,000 grit extra fine and just take it to the next level. Now for some final thoughts on basically two systems that we test today. First, on the Condor Primitive Bush Tool, it did a great job reprofiling that blade. I'll stick my hand up so that way the focus will hit it. Just did a great job. I brought the cutting edge back probably about a ½ inch, and you got to do a little bit at a time with this. You don't just want to jump right in and just start grinding off a lot. Just take your time, have fun with it. As I said, I reprofiled an axe a while back for a friend. This axe was just thrashed, and it took a little while. I was out here in the garage playing around with it, but I brought it back. He was surprised. I put a mirror finish on that hatchet. It looked outstanding. I can't speak highly enough of the work sharp system and that blade grinding system. Folks, this is cutting paper without even stropping the blade. I mean, it's just going crazy. I'm sacrificing my show notes. This is what we do for you guys here on the channel. I'm looking forward to taking this blade back out into the woods. Now, I get a lot of folks that ask me all the time on the channel when I showcase items, John, where can I get the items? I make it real easy for you. I have an Amazon store. I'm not here as the pitch man to sell stuff on my store, but every little bit helps. It costs money to drive my Jeep up into the mountains about 40, 50 miles away. Jeeps are not cheap. I get about 12 miles to the gallon. I'm not going to whine about it. That's my YouTube mobile studio. I love that. If you're interested in this whole system, which I highly encourage you to get, and I'm going to give a quick disclaimer. Again, you have to use the Ken Onion Work Sharp in order for that blade grinder to fit. Very important that you understand that. I have the links below in my Amazon store for both those items. Now's a great time. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. It helps out a lot. Thumbs up this video. It lets YouTube know and Google know, hey, you care about these videos. And if you want to follow along on social media, the best way to get a hold of me is on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Links below. With that said, this is Wingman. I'm checking out. Take care, folks. Have a nice day. I'll catch you on the next video.